really was very impressed. I like Sealy. I know him so many years, and this is the first time he speaks so deep. I wish he could reach the politician in Lebanon, the Christian politician in Lebanon. One of the great disaster in Lebanon come from our politicians, all of them. They are moved by selfishness, as Mr. Shukri says, moved by greed, moved by all kind of things. They don't have the sense of belonging to a country, of looking for a future for. But this is not what I intend to present to you tonight. I asked Father Paul that he said, we are going to talk about identity. I told him, this is the topic I have been working for all my life. And recently in 2008, I gave a retreat to all the priests of Canada. I talk about that, and it is represented in this book, Mawarina fil Intishar. And I want to talk about our identity for you. There is one thing, the core of my ideas goes into what he's saying. What means to be religion or to be a liturgy for us. It is not simply a religious expression. It is a cultural expression. It expresses our way of life. But anyway, making a difference in the church, according to the title of this meeting, it says, we had the Maronite Church, who is born in the East, who has been living in the East all those centuries, and suddenly she break up and she is all over. She's all over, expanded all over the world, and not simply a simple immigration of people, but those people have been given a unity, and the see of Saint Meron has been established for them in the country, and when the see is established, the church is established. Before we were Maronite here, there, in Brazil, in Australia, in United States, but once the see of Saint Meron established, we are really a church, and we are going to build a church. One of the contributions of the Maronite Church in United States that gave to the world, to the synod, Patriarchal Synod of 2003-2006, it is the most important event that happened to the church, and he was mentioned by Monsignor Sealy. We gave two visions. First one, that our experience here gave us the idea that we are a Catholic church. We are not a simple local church. We are not a church of Lebanon. We are a church which expands all over the world, and it is present all over the world. And they founded the See of Saint Meron. They established bishops all over. So this gave us the idea to go back to the message of Christ. Go and preach. Our duty, we Maronite, is to preach the gospel to any Christian the way the Latin is preaching. The Latin is a beautiful rite. I have nothing to say against, and I will never say. And the image that came to me is my church is my home. And this home, no matter humble how it is the one I like. The Latin church is a palace. It is a beautiful palace, but it is not my home. That's so we are Catholic Church, and by insisting on that, we give a new boost to the church. Secondly, what happened to Lebanon? What is Lebanon? The church has limit beyond Lebanon. The church has expressed itself outside Lebanon. And Lebanon, what is our relation with Lebanon? We need Lebanon, no doubt. Lebanon is still the land of our father, the land of our faith, the land of our saint, the land of our religious institution, the land where we express ourselves and we give of all our strength. So Lebanon will become for us the spiritual country, al-watan al-ruhi. Those who are Lebanese from you, who are here and have children here, do not speak English, do not speak Arabic, and who do not know Lebanon. They have no relationship with Lebanon, no relationship with the language, no friend from Lebanon. And how can we convince them to make Lebanon their own country? It is a spiritual country because they have to go back to find their root there. So this is the image. So we are a Catholic Church. Lebanon is our spiritual country, but our church has extended all over the world. Now the problem, what is our spirituality? What makes us what we want? There was an old school, I call it the old school of writers, made by Ibn al-Qalai, who was the first one, by Patriarch Doueihi, in 17th, 18th century, by Bishop Doueihi, and by all those. They were, in order to express themselves, they were to defend all in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, and among all the Christian around, that they are Catholic. All of them defend this point. We are Catholic, no matter what you say. And all their argument come to this point. But by explaining to us that we are Catholic, that's it, that's us. We know them. But this is an explanation, I call it an external explanation. And this is an explanation we are done with. It is gone. We have a new explanation, and it comes from inside, and it stays with us. And this explanation is taken from our own liturgy. That is the new school. You see now those who write about the Maronite, they write all different aspects to defend, to find out what is identity. And identity, as you know, it is that what makes us what we are. And it stays with us all our life. And it keeps working on us. And maybe there are many of us who die without knowing their identity. But this is something very deep that concerns us all. And by working on that, the new author gives a new aspect. I don't care what they say about Maronites, if I were Christian, if I were Roman Catholic or no. I don't care about that. We have this feeling, we Maronite all over the world, from all the centuries, we have this mission, or this feeling inside us, we are Roman Catholic and that's it, like it or not. But now we are who we are. What does this liturgy tell us? What is about us? He gave you few examples, Bishop. I wish it was a good mistake. Chorbishop, we have to add the core. Chorbishop Beggiani. Yeah, he gave you a few examples about it, but it is all over our prayer and our expression of our life in the liturgy of divine liturgy, because it is the most important and the most lived by us. This is the way we express ourselves. So, looking at those, at this aspect, before years ago, I chose four people who worked on Lebanon and on the Maronite Church in different aspects. Each one has its own. And those four, they are Joachim Mubarak. Some know of him. Joachim Mubarak is to me, is the greatest Maronite of the 20th century. Joachim Mubarak, he was a Maronite priest from Firzghab, and he was a professor in the faculties of Europe, and he was a great visionary, and he was the father, to me, he was the father of the Synod, of the Patriarchal Synod of 2003. You have Michel Hayek also. Michel Hayek, he died, Joachim Mubarak, Michel Hayek died also. Michel Hayek is a great friend of mine, and he has a vision. And then you have Sili Beggiani, he is here, you know him. And I tell you, I did not choose to make it. I chose it because I was convinced of that. I chose it because he deserved that we look at him. And then a fourth one who is not Maronite, who is not even Catholic, but who is a great teacher, great Sebastian Brock. So they wrote about the Maronite. Each one of those four has his own personality, his own vision of the world, of the church, and his own studies, researches making. Each one has something special to say. And you can, I summarize them in the little one in those. For example, Joachim Mubarak was concerned that the Maronite Church do not forget its heritage of Antioch. Antioch, the mother of the church, the mother churches of the whole world. We have a lot of things to share with Antioch, and it make us closer to our brother, the other Eastern churches. So he worked on that, but he ended up by saying about the Maronite Church this word, very simple word. أن حقل الطقوس من بين المراجع المارونية قد يكون أرحب هذه المراجع في تراثنا فضلا عن أنه أسماها. Michel Hayek, no, he have another look. Maronite Church is anchored in Lebanon. He studies the father of Annobin. He has an article in the Spiritually Maronite. I think you translated it, no? Yeah, you have done. In the Dictionnaire Catholique de Spiritualité, called The Maronite Spirituality. It is a beautiful article. He has Father Charbel, and he has another, the Maronite Church and the land. He insists on the land, and he says that the land is of Annubin gave us all this all this sanctity, and is mixed with all kind of spirituality. And he end up by saying on the liturgy, the Maronite tradition lives in the liturgy. The liturgy include the faith of the Father, the mysteries of our salvation, and the life of the Church. Monsignor Seeley, he is here. His books are more and taller than him. Syriac Maronite Spirituality, Divine Liturgy of the Maronite Church, Early Syriac Theology, Introduction to Eastern Spirituality, Syriac Tradition. His concern was mostly the Syriac Father, the Syriac tradition as it, and then from there bring up what Maronite has made from this Syriac tradition. And he says one thing. He says he quotes one word which shook me, and he says the spiritual call, he is at hand for everybody, not only for those who are not married, not only for those who are married, not only for any. It has the spiritual life must be lived by all the Christian community. So every one of us is concerned by that. And he end up by saying this word about the liturgy. The liturgy represent the spirit of the people who praise. She explained the people of faith, and she explained the tradition of this, and all her needs, emotional and spiritual and category. So he had this. Sebastian Brock, as I said, was not Maronite. He was not even Catholic. He came. He was invited in 1985 to a NAM convention in Connecticut, in Danbury, no?
Yeah.
In Danbury.
Yeah.
And he gave a series of conference, and they were offered as a book, and it is called "The Maronite: A Living Icon." A living icon. He developed the Maronite Church very at extent, and he talked about the spirituality, poetic spirituality of the Maronite. He has here something beautiful, how the approach under a philosophical aspect of explaining things, and the poetical aspect to explain things, and it is so beautiful. And I say the Maronite Church was the three diverse elements have successfully been fused together to form a single dynamic unity. And those three, it is, he called them Madrasat, the school of Antioch and the school of Edessa, and the monastic life. So those, and he says also about the liturgy, the tradition liturgical is the key that open to the real identity, to each one of the church way. So this is we have four people, four experts, who have their own vision of the world, their own philosophy, and they end up by giving the same thing, that the center of the identity, the heart of identity is the liturgy. It's the liturgy we live, not the liturgy of the Mass, of the divine service. It is okay that we deal too much about, we talk too much because it is the most important aspect of our faith. But there are all the sacraments,